Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put my glove on and I'll get back to this walk and jock. Yeah, it's December, I think it's the 28th, Thursday, and I'm on a walk before I go back to work in the evening. And I had the urge to make a video, but I always, you know me, I talk off the cuff and I don't edit. So I hope to come up with something interesting to talk about. But being the week of Christmas, and I thought I would reminisce a little bit about the toys that we got in the 70's, and our favorite games, our favorite pastimes. And I also had a recent telephone conversation and a lot of texting back and forth with my good old friend Jim Pennock from the old neighborhood, and we reminisced quite a bit, and it just brought up a lot of memories. But I'll just reminisce, and hopefully you of that era will enjoy it, and even maybe my children's era will enjoy what we enjoyed in the 70's. But okay, first of all, no particular order. I remember when we were little slot cars, the electronic cars that you would press a little handheld thing and it'd run around a track on a groove. And, oh, they were a big deal. And deal with the traffic. All of a sudden, it's everybody and their sister driving up the hill. Anyways, I can't remember if we just go down and watch it or if some of my friends would actually rent a slot car and race them down. But we go down to the mall, and in the basement of the Cottonwood Mall here in Salt Lake City was a slot car racing place. I can't remember if that was part of Hammond's Toys or a separate deal, but you know, it's exciting to see the race cars going across the slotted track. And then in our home, I think I inherited this. I don't think I ever received one new, but somehow I inherited it from a neighbor or from my older brothers and sisters or something. But we had it in our house, and we would enjoy that and build this track in the living room. And you had options of it. You could lay it out however you wanted, right? And race these slot cars, and it was a lot of good fun. But then about that time, Hot Wheels came out. And I remember, I think it was Jim Pennock that was the first to get Hot Wheels of my friends. And I remember him telling me, you know, it's kind of like slot cars, but you don't need. And I remember going to see his track or something, and setting a Hot Wheels down and said, "How do you make the car go?" I didn't realize that you had to create gravity by attaching the track to something high in your house and then run the cars down the track. But oh man, I remember Hot Wheels are such a big deal, and we loved them, and the colors, and then also the Hot Wheels knockoff cars. Well, I don't know if they're knockoffs, but Johnny Lightning, something like that. These bright metallic colors, and even today I see some real automobiles, and I see the metallic color they're made for and painted in, and they bring back just so many good memories of those colors of those Hot Wheels that we used to buy, like a burnt orange or a metallic cherry red or metallic sky blue or something like that. But we enjoyed those Hot Wheels. Oh man, that was probably one of the was way into Hot Wheels. I remember then some Christmases I'd get they started coming out with these powered generators that would, even on the flat, it would spit your car out at some ridiculous speed and go around the track. But that was fun. And let's see, what else? I remember about this time when we were very young. Creepy crawlers, and I think again, a lot of these things, the Pennocs in our neighborhood were the first to get these things. And if I remember correctly, you would bake your own some of them, your creepy crawlers. They have these molds that you pour this liquid plastic into, or rubber, and bake your own creepy crawlers. And oh man, that was, and I still remember the smell of those. It was good times. And then I was talking to Jim about some of the games we used to play, but I promised I'd mention these sometime in your video. First of all, we used to play the purse. We'd take an empty old purse, hook some fish line onto it, and stand behind. I think these fences were shake oak or shake redwood fences, those rough kind of fences, and then they'd get old, and knots would fall out of them. You'd all have all these knots in them that you could put fishing wire into. But I remember we would, in my backyard was one of these shake fences, and we would put the purse out on the street, right? And then somebody would walk by and think, oh my heavens, I found a purse. I bet there's tons of money in it. Then we'd yank it and get the biggest kick out of it. But after a while, oh man, the cars. After a while, this got a little old. I mean, we would do it quite regularly, but I think it was the Joseph's next door idea, or I don't know, but we took it to the next level by making a dummy, like a human dummy, out of jeans and an old shirt and belt and something for a head. I don't know what we used for a head. And again, tie some fishing line to it, and hope that somebody would drive by thinking this was a injured person and we got to help him. Oh man, and then we yanked that. And I don't remember doing this too often because I think I don't think that there was a cop that lived a couple of houses up on the street, a young cop, and he would drive by, and he caught wind of us doing this, and he came over and he gave us a talking to, and I don't think we did it again after that. So maybe one or two times, but that was a good memory. Oh, and then we'd have this game where the headlights, we would be wandering the kid. Everybody's out in the neighborhood in the yard playing till dark and doing all kinds of games until dark. I don't see kids playing today. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe in my neighborhood there's no young kids or something, but we would be playing until dark, and we would play this game called something about headlights, car lights. If headlights hit us or whatever, we would be dead or something. So we'd have to run and hide every time a car would come by, because we didn't. Jim may be able to fill in some of the blanks on this, but we did not want the headlights to shine on us, or we would be dead. So we'd be running and hiding all the time. Oh, and then we played a lot of hide and seek. And I'm terrible with some of the rules because I can't remember a lot of the rules. I remember the telephone pole in my front yard was a home base, and a person would, count to 100 or whatever the number was, count to a 50 or 100, and then say, I think they would say, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, ollie ollie income free. Is that what we call ollie ollie income free? Or maybe that was after we gave up. Anyways, so we would say, ready or not, here I come. And so the guy leaves the home base and he goes out hunting for people. And then I remember, if you found somebody, it was a race to the, see if I'm wrong, it was a race to the home base to see who could get there first. And if I got there first, being the person who was the counter, that person was out. And I think the first captured person was the next person to count, if I remember correctly. But if I remember correctly, we wouldn't tag them, it was a race back to home base. So I'm a little bit vague on those rules, but I remember we have a multi-yard. Let's see, it was at least my yard, the Tom Six across the street, and the Joe's is next door. So at least 3 house area was our zone that we'd go hide in. Oh, man. That was always so much fun. Then I remember once I got my older, see, he's 10 years older than me. He for some reason, he was in the mood to play one day. And I remember, he was, his hiding places were just, a notch above ours. I was so impressed by his hiding places. And then I remember some kids, there's a tree fairly close to the telephone pole, and if they climbed up the tree, they could easily tag save or something like that. Oh wow, so that was one of the games. And then my friend Rod Fairborn, we got talking about this one day, talking about games and things, and he was much more into this than I, but he'd play marbles, and I didn't play it. I mean, I think the standard game of marbles is to have a circle, and you try to shoot and knock. Maybe everybody put a few marbles in the center and you shoot and knock them out of the circle. That was one game. And then Rod would say he had a game where they play out on the street on a hill with a gutter, and they would shoot the marbles down the gutter and try to knock out the other person or something like that. And I don't ever remember playing that game, but oh man, he remembers in detail all some of the, and then hopscotch. Okay, we would draw the hopscotch thing in our back patio, but at the school they had the fully painted ones on the school playground, and even the hopscotch rules I have a hard time remembering. We'd have a rubber taw of a flat disc that you would have to, you throw it in one, I think you would hop in on one foot in the one box, and jump and kick it out. And I think it had to go out the top, or not the top, the bottom, if I'm not correctly. It can't go out the side if I remember correctly. But you have to, while staying on one foot, have to jump and kick that taw out, and then you jump back through the squares, then you go to the square number 2 and have to, if I remember correctly, 1 and 2, you stand on both feet, 1 foot in each in each box, but it's hopscotch, and then Foursquare, and then all the special rules we had for four. Oh, low battery? You kidding me? I was just getting into this. Okay, I might have to sign off and continue this later. Um, so before my battery dies altogether, let's see if I have enough time. I'll talk till it goes dead. Talk about Foursquare and all the special rules we had, like holdsies and bubbles, and no bubbles or no this or that. And we'd go slam the ball in one of the squares. I can't remember in detail all the rules, but we had a lot of games like that we enjoyed. Let's see, was there any more yard games that we? Oh yeah, we play all kinds. I think we would spin ourselves around and get dizzy, and then there was like we would freeze in a certain position, and then I can't remember all the things we would do, but we would. I'm gonna have to ask my friends if they remember that game. We'd get twirled around, and then we'd freeze in a position, and then I can't remember what we do. Then I remember another game where we'd play on the porch, and it would be a race around the house with somebody else if they called out your name or number, or I can't remember the rules, but it was a chase around the house to see if you could make it back to the porch and safely back without being caught or something like that. Anyways, well, these are good memories, but I have a terrible memory of these things. I hope someone will chime in and help me out with these, and I'll sign off for now and continue my walk. Thank you. Bye-bye.